Welcome to a presentation of TimeTrax, the time management system that we're building for Apple, iPhone, BlackBerry, and Android smartphones. The unique features within the TimeTrax application include database and event-driven based tracking, push-based reminders, GPS and location tracking services, as well as powerful web-based tracking, summary, invoicing, and export capabilities. So let's take a look at TimeTrax. You've just downloaded the application onto your iPhone, and this is the screen that would come up the first time you used it. We're going to, set up here and do the push reminder. So we're going to set up a very important feature, and then we're going to go here and we're going to hit a new reminder, and it comes up with the parameters. I can fill in these parameters: name, start time, stop time, duration, interval, include lunch, etc. And this is what it looks like when it's filled out. So. And once I filled it out, in this particular case, every 20 minutes, a reminder like this will show up on your iPhone. Now, regardless of where you are, it's kind of like that SMS message. It interrupts what you're doing and says, here's a reminder for you. And that's a feature that the iPhone offers. So we're now going to press the back button, and you'll notice that the daily work reminder is included in here. If I add a whole bunch of new ones, this is what it'll look like. So I've got my daily work reminder. I've got I also schedule meetings from my calendar automatically with 50-minute reminders. I have a one-time reminder for a client call, and then I have a repeating staff call. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the back button and go back to this entry screen. We've included a number of usage templates. You can set up your categories and clients and all the parameters if you want to do that up front. And we also include an introductory viewer. But what we're going to do is we're going to start entering tasks. So let's do that now. This is the main screen of TimeTrax time application. It includes a lot of information, but it's extremely easy to use. And it's kind of like a map. Lots of information, but you can figure out from the name what you need to do. So let's build an example, kind of a couple of hours in a day, and let's see how it works. So I've got my iPhone. It's 11:19 a.m. Nothing's going on. At 11:20, one of those reminders comes up that says, this is your 11:20 reminder, and as it says, I've got no task going on. So it will automatically bring up the application at this point. And this is a blank screen. So all I have to do to get this thing started is hit the start button. It'll assign a task ID. It will then identify the current location where I am. I then hit task, go to my I've set up my categories, my clients, my tasks, etc. I go in, I pick on the IP mail on-site meeting, it fills it in, and off I go, and I turn the iPhone off. I've now started recording time. Well, let's go back to that screen and take a look at some of the detail. I have a start button, a stop button, a duration. I have my ID. But I picked up on-site meeting, but look at the information it picked up. It said, well, the client is Square One, the project is IP Mail, the rate is $100. I haven't done, at this point I could put in a note or a to-do or, indicate that it's mileage, but we'll get to mileage later. So here I am on my iPhone at 11:21. I'm in the meeting, and at 11:40, the reminder comes up. Notice that it says TimeTrax reminder, current task, Square One IP on-site meeting, and duration has been 20 minutes. So it picks information up and puts it out in my reminder. But I don't do anything with it. I'm in the middle of a meeting. I don't want to even, touch my iPhone. I know it's there. I'm still in the meeting. Let's go. At 11:58, meetings ended. I open up my TimeTrax application, and I hit the stop button. Now, when I hit the stop button, it will also identify a current location, because sometimes you move locations. Notice that it's filled in the information. It filled in the stop time. It filled in the duration at 38 minutes. For my billing rate of $100, it figured out the billing for this one was $38. Well, I'm about to go for lunch, so I turn my iPhone off and I go for lunch. Well, 1 minute later, every 20 minutes these reminders are going to go off. It says reminder. Well, I'm going to lunch, so I'm not going to do anything. 12:20, same thing. I just ignore it. 12:40, same thing. I just ignore it. At 1 o'clock, okay, I've got to go down. I've got to get in my car and go down to the next meeting. So I open up Time Tracks. I hit the start button, and I go, and it identifies the current location. I hit the task. I hit for mileage for TT prototype. So I'm going down for a design meeting for the TT prototype. Again, it fills in. But because it's mileage, down at the bottom you notice that it has mileage yes. Okay, it's identified that there's a mileage requirement to do here. So I turn the phone off, get in my car, off I go. It's 11:20, my reminder comes off. I'm in the car, a beep will go off or something. I happen to be stopped at a stoplight, so I hit it, open it up. And now what I do is I just hit continue task. The nice part about this is if you're in a mileage application, it'll identify the current location, and then it will give you an interim mile. So I've gone 12 miles so far from my start location to this particular location. I then close my iPhone, traffic light has changed, and off I go. I park the car, go into a meeting, and I'm in a meeting, and my 1:40 reminder comes up. So, I go, oh, okay, I got to stop it. Now, if I wanted to do it very quickly, I could stop it, hit new task, and be done with it, and catch up later. But let's just walk through what happens. Well, what happens with it'll identify its current location when I hit the stop button. But, I've been in the meeting for 10 minutes because I actually parked the car and walked up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the time from my previous thing using the minus key. So I've highlighted the time at 1:40 for the stop. I use the minus key, take it down to 1:28, reduces the tasks, and you notice that the mileage is finished at 15 miles. I then hit the new task button. I start a new task button. You'll notice that it's 1:40. Identifies the current location. I select a task. I'm now going to select design meeting out of my list. It populates design meeting, client is Time Tracks, TT prototype. It's my thing, so I'm not billing anything for it, and off I go. So that's an example of how quickly you can keep track of your time using this application. And I thank you for watching this example.